Now we can put our cover plate on with the Pfister spaced up. Is there something funny to you? It's a P and a Fister. That would be Pfister. Mm-hmm. It's like a full-on farm around here. We got another batch of chicks, as I told you guys last video, or the video before that we were getting. So we got them. We were gonna divide that brooder out there, but we just decided to use a little kiddie pool and put them in the garage because those other birds will just be there for another week. Come on, let's go. Come on. So anyway, Piglet's doing well. We got little chicks, but we're back to work. Got things to do. Got inspections to get ready for. All right, today we are working on the shower head and all that stuff in this bathroom that'll go behind that wall. So we got this here. Pfister, or just Fister. So it's a shower head, a tub spout, and the handle for it. So we're gonna have to cut through our tub, our fiberglass tub, with a hole saw, a couple holes. We're gonna have to do some soldering with some copper, and then we'll use some PEX, and we'll get this thing mounted up there. All right, I promise to keep my clothes on in the shower when I get the camera on. Is that funny to you, Tina? All right, so we want to keep our stuff aligned here. So those two are aligned. I'm gonna go off of this. It's 16 inches to the center. And our spout is at 30 inches. From the edge. So this is what, 16 inches deep. And from here, 16 plus
14.
Mm-hmm. So it's like right there. And 16 from here. Okay, so that's one. And then from there, our tub spout would be, the directions say 8 inches lower than that. So that would put it at 6 inches, which is right here. I've seen some people do it 10 inches below. What do you think?
I can't see.
You want it closer to the tub, like down here? It'd be like right here or here?
That's fine.
Down here?
No, the 6 is probably fine.
Up here?
Yeah.
It's right on that line. Yeah? Okey-dokey. 6 inches it is. Nope, it's gonna be down here. I don't want to go on the crack here.
Okay.
So that will be there. 16. Okay, we'll get a hole saw. I'll check what size. I think it's 4-inch for up here, and then this one's probably like a 1-inch. So I'll get that hole saw. We'll get those cut out, and then we can mount our handle. Okay, so I'm gonna take my impact with a small bit and drill a pilot hole here so that way this hole saw bit doesn't walk on me.
No going back.
Well, there is. We just have to go to the hardware store and buy a new tub for.
I'm not doing that, sorry.
All right, so the bottom one, I think I just said it was an inch. It's an inch and a quarter, so got my inch and a quarter hole saw. And we're gonna. Okay, wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, so the next one is a 4-inch because it's a fiberglass tub. Can I have that please, Vanna? Thank you. If you have tile or something like that, I think the directions call for, what was it, 4.5?
4 3/4.
4 3/4. But we don't have tile on this one, so. This is the big hole, you can't patch this one. Water line right there. Good thing I didn't go too far. I love the smell of fiberglass. Maybe I'm the only one. Does anybody else like that smell? Okay, so this is our shower diverter or valve or whatever you want to call it. This is for a tub because you have your hot and your cold. And this goes to your shower head. And if it's just a shower, you're not going to have one on the bottom. It's just going to be flat. This one is for the tub. So it's got one here. You could use this for a shower. You just solder a cap on the bottom here and never use it. But they do make these for just a shower. So we have our 2 plates here. So Tina's going to hold this on the back side for me. And then we'll screw it in so we can take our measurements. That way we'll know what where we need to solder. So this got a little ring on the inside, which will allow the fiberglass to sit between the two. You don't really need to do this in order to take your measurements. I'll show you both ways here once we get it installed, but it's just better to check. That straight in the hole?
Looks like it.
Let go of it for a second. Whoops. Just moved it, sorry. It didn't look like it was level. You like that?
Can I?
Yep.
Okay.
Good? Okay, so now that's in. We don't really need a measurement on the inside for the shower spout. We can get that from the back side, and then we'll get this measurement from the back side as well. All right, so we need to take the internals out of this valve because if you don't, when you solder it, you're gonna fry the internals, any of the O-rings and plastic pieces in there. It's gonna get too hot, and then you would have successfully soldered a useless valve. So we don't want to do that. So I'll pop these screws out and then see what it looks like on the inside. Comes out. and then that comes out in one piece. So that's all there is to it. So there's a couple screens. Around that screen there's an O-ring, there's another O-ring over here, and that's just all plastic. So you would totally fry it if you were to keep it on there. So on here it shows up and down, which is crucial, because up would be your shower and down would be your tub. So I went ahead and marked my copper pipe, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it with my pipe cutter here. And we're through. Perfect. So now clean out the inside. And we'll give it a little sand. Okay, so this is our down piece. It's gonna go like that. We got a drop ear 90, same thing we use for the pop filler. And that'll go in there like that. And then that's how we'll have it sit. So I think we're gonna put this on there, which we should be able to without the internals. We'll check this measurement, make sure it's perfect, because if it's not, I can always cut another piece of pipe. Once it's soldered, you can take it off. You can heat it up and melt the solder, but it's just gonna be easier if I check it now. All right, so I'm far from a professional solderer, but we're gonna make an attempt. So I'm gonna add some flux. To that, both joints. And I want to make sure that this is flush here. And I'll hang it off the edge. You guys can't even see. We'll try that. And we're going to try to solder it here. Sure we got it all the way around. I think we did. All right. Perfect. That joint came out a little bit better than the other joint, but they'll work. Okay, so the last piece, well, I got to do the upper, but the last piece for the bottom, I need to solder is a piece that'll stick through the tub that we can put the tub spout on. So I just have a male adapter here. So this will screw in to the drop ear 90 that we just put on. All right, so looking around here, you can, I can see, I don't know if you guys can on camera, all the solder's in. This is all just extra solder that kind of went over the side. Not a big deal. And then this will get screwed in to this dog ear 90 once it all cools down. And then this will stick through the tub, and then we'll cut this to put our tub faucet on. So next up we got to do the shower head. So we'll get that pipe cut and get that soldered. All right, so it's all soldered. I'm gonna attempt to put this in myself. There we go. Probably all coming back out anyway, so we can do the blocking, but for now, it's in there. And we can measure for our water connections on the backside now. All right, so we got it mounted on here. Now we got to put these fittings on for our PEX. So make sure I do this tape correctly. Okay, so these are the PEX expansion fittings on here. So you want the cold on the left and the hot on the right on the inside of the shower. So back here, it's going to be hot on the right, cold on the left. So get that hooked up. And I cut it too short. Dang it. Well, I guess I gotta add a piece. we'll try this one again. I might be able to make it work. All right, she worked. So the other thing we have to do is fasten this off with some blocking. So I'll have to get a piece cut. Our vent pipe here is gonna be right in the way, which kind of stinks. Knowing what I know now, I would not have put the vent right here. I would have just probably ran the vent to the outside wall, but live and learn, I guess. So I'm gonna have to run a pipe or a board up, kind of frame this in a little bit differently to get myself some good support for this. So I'm gonna get all that framed up and then we'll go ahead and get this blocked out. All right, so yesterday afternoon we got the blocking on. It's not the way I wanted because of this pipe, but alas, we can't go back now because the concrete's already poured. So this is nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. We use 2x4s and 1x6s, and like I said, it's not going anywhere. We got the water hooked up to the valve behind here, and you can see the shower head. I just have that tossed up there now. I'm not gonna hard mount it or anything because we're gonna need to take that off to do the drywall, but I just don't want to lose it, so it's just gonna sit there. So now we can put the cover plate on, and we can put the faucet, the tub faucet on, and we should be able to get this thing buttoned up. Okay, so here's our tub spout stub out. We'll end up cutting that off, but first we're gonna do the handle. So we got this little collar here. It's got grooves in it. I don't know how well you can see that, if you can. So those grooves, we're gonna want them on the side. So we'll spin it around, and it does have like a stop on it, so. All right, so that's there. Now there's this, I don't know what this piece is called, but that's what turns this on. It's kind of like a key. So we'll screw that in. So that'll turn off and on. Now we can put our cover plate on with the Pfister spaced up. Is there something funny to you? It's a P and a Fister. That would be Pfister. Mm-hmm. Now we can screw our handle on. I didn't put it on straight, so we'll try again. There we go. Alright. I don't know how tight it's supposed to be. Pretty tight, I would assume. Well, that'll be good because I can always tighten it down if I need to. So now I'm going to cut this. Directions say between 1 3/4 and 2 1/4, or 1.5 inches and 2 3/4. 1.5 and 2 1/4. So I'll take my pipe cutter, I'll cut this down. I'm just gonna cut it at 2 inches, and then we can put our tub spout on. All right, so here's the tub spout. There's a little plastic piece on the inside, and it's got a metal ring around it with a set screw, hex head set screw. So that is gonna get put on here. Like that. But they also, I'm pretty sure you can take this out, but we don't need to, so. So that just pop on there like that. We'll make sure it's nice and plumb. If I can find the set screw, it'll be easy. How about I do this? I lost it again. All right, so we cleaned up the tub, give you guys some glamour shots so it's not all dirty. It is still dirty on the bottom because we don't have water yet to hook it up. So that's the finished product. That's what it looks like. I'm sure somebody will comment. We do need a stud here, which we'll do. There's a couple studs that we need around for our drywall, which we know about that. So we left the plastic on. I'll probably put the plastic on there because with a little baby, toddler, whatever she is, gremlin, things get scratched, and we'd rather move in and then have them scratch it versus have them scratch it before, or her, I guess, not them. There's only one. So we know the culprit, because Riley, she's not gonna do it. Anyway, tub shower, check, done. We don't need that for inspection, but we wanted to get it done. We've had it here. We wanted to get all the plumbing hooked up and all that. So anyway, that's where we'll leave this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
You gonna feed her? What's her name? Red. Sit.
Okay, hold the bottle. She is making a mess.
Sharp teeth.
She does have sharp teeth.
She will bite you.
You're making a mess.
We can't turn the toilet.
You hear more? Ready? Hold the bottle. Oh, thank you. She's got it all over her mouth, huh? You wiping her up? She's tired. Taking a little break. Be gentle. Be gentle.
How much excess piggies do live?
Go ahead, you can hold it.
Piggy sneezed. Piggy sneezed.
She sneezed?
Where you going, Piggy? She's head to tail. She have other tail.
Mm-hmm.